Yeah, okay. hmm hmm Welcome to the debut episode of That's a Big Twinkie. Roll the titles.
Stand by. That's a big Twinkie. That's a big Twinkie.
Welcome to the debut episode of That's a Big Twinkie podcast, coming at you every Monday where you download your podcast from. This will also be available on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, this is primarily a Ghostbusters podcast where you hear my thoughts and opinions all about Ghostbusters, past, present, and future. We will talk about everything Ghostbusters related, films, cartoons, merchandise. We'll also talk about upcoming projects from Hasbro. We'll be looking at props. We'll be looking at special effects of the films. Hopefully, we'll have some special guests as well to talk on the podcast with yours truly, moi. So as it's been the first episode, we're going to do an intro of who I am, my connection to the Ghostbuster world, my interest, what's coming up on future podcasts, and also I will be talking about the brand new competition to win a limited edition, rare, vintage Ghostbusters 2 video shop coat that was made up for the video shop employees to promote Ghostbusters 2 when they released it in 1989. It was for the employees, and these jackets are rare. They're hard to get, and I will be giving away one to one very lucky winner. And to do that, to be in the chance of winning it, what I want you to do is go on to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, like and subscribe. And then I will put all the information on Facebook. You will leave a comment where you subscribe, and then I will give you a number, and that number will go into a tombola at a later date, where I will do a live tombola right, to choose a lucky winner. And then hopefully what I want that lucky winner to do is just post a little video of them receiving the jacket and congratulating me and calling me King of Ghostbusters, because I gave them this jacket and I don't want any medals or that for it. It's out of the goodness of my heart, and I'm a very good person. Anyway, coming up, let's start talking about me.
Stand by. That's a big Twinkie. That's a big Twinkie.
Yes, welcome back. So let's start talking about me. I know people will say about being, but it's me. Let's see, for me, I started, first foray into Ghostbusters was when it first came out. I was 5. First time I ever saw Ghostbusters was Christmas time on the TV. But I will talk about that more later. And then Ghostbusters was just Ghostbusters. But then at that age, the cartoon came out, the real Ghostbusters cartoon. I think it was in 87 it came out over here. So obviously I was old enough to watch it. I was hooked. I was a bit complex about how comes the real Ghostbusters had different color uniforms to what the movie had, and how come Slimer was their best friend. Obviously, used to go to school and talk about Ghostbusters and pretend to be a Ghostbuster. When I was younger, I used to create a proton pack out of household materials like kitchen roll tubes, string, cereal boxes, sellotape. Yeah, and I used to put it all in paper over the top, not like paper mache, but paper. Sellotape it down, draw on it. Um, Used to take it to school with me, show it off, but then obviously it was ripped. It was damaging the cloakroom. Um, so obviously I just made a new one. Then my first ever Ghostbuster figure was Ray Stantz. That was my first ever figure. I remember I got Ray. I didn't get any of the ghosts. It was just Ray. Then I ended up getting the Fright Features Ray. I got the Fright Features Peter. Um, but that was basically me. That was my only Ghostbuster toys I had when I was a kid. Then Ghostbusters 2 come out in 1989. I didn't see that in the cinema, but my cousin did used to have it on a VHS from a certain place we call like Jack Sparrow Land. And then I used to borrow it off him all the time, and especially in that version of Ghostbusters 2, I'm sure there was scenes in it that wasn't in the video release until like years later, I think. And then Ghostbusters started to get a thing. Every time Ghostbusters came out on video, I would buy it. I would basically anything Ghostbusters that was released genuinely, I'd buy it. Because where I used to live, we didn't used to have many like car boot sales or flea markets or anything like that. So all we had was like smaller charity shops or anything like that. But I did have me fix of Ghostbuster stuff, and like interest thingy. Then it started to go on. Then obviously the internet come out, so the internet started to like get up, and and then I think then Comic Cons started to hear about Comic Cons more and more and more. Then I went to my first Comic Con, and I remember I saw the UK Ghostbusters. I thought, okay, I didn't know, like people actually took the time to like do the uniform, do the props, and actually walk around, and people loved it. So then I thought, okay, that's something that I could be interested in. So started to find out, well, buy the stuff, how I got on with the stuff. Then it come to the point where I thought, okay, I'll take a dab at doing my own proton pack, and I started with the neutrino wand. Built that first. I had that for about a year. Then Ernie Hudson was at a Comic Con back in 2013, 2014. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to go out and do the whole shebang. But then that year, Ernie Hudson pulled out. So obviously I was left with Proton Pack, the gun, because I remember I used to get stuff from Nicotron. I used to get stuff from Nicotron. Used to get in touch with him with if he had any parts, like not like the proper stuff, but stuff they needed work on, because it works out cheaper for me. So I got that, built me first a Proton Pack with it. My brother Jay helped me. Then started to go Comic Cons and started to do things, and then me and Jay started to dress up like me. Then me and him started to go in Comic Cons as us. Then we decided to start doing the road Ghostbusters. Then we was invited to the premiere of Afterlife back in 2021. It was, I think it was November 21. Unfortunately, he couldn't go, so I went instead. and I saw this massive Ghostbuster gathering. Managed to meet Ivan Reitman, Jason Reitman. Funny story with the cinema though. Sorry, but because I wanted to go to the toilet, I went to the toilet, and then I passed these like security men, and that was guarding these two blokes. And then I asked one of them, "Do you know where the toilet is?" And then one of them turned around and said, "Yes, sir, it's around here." So I went, "Thank you." So obviously, used toilet, come back, and Jason and Ivan was on stage introducing Afterlife, because I'd stand by the door while they were talking, when they had in by security. And then as I was going to my seat, I realised, hang on, it didn't dawn on me. It was Jason that told me where the toilets was. And obviously, the film was beautiful. The film was fantastic, Afterlife. But we'll get into a different episode about Afterlife and what effects it had on the community, on fans, on yourself. Yeah, and then unfortunately, tragedy struck. Me brother Jay got ill in 22. Then he didn't make it. I was devastated. My world fell. I didn't know what to do. But that night changed me. I had to change everything about myself. Decided to pick myself up. And one of the things was, I wasn't going to do Ghostbusters anymore. I was going to shut it down completely. But then his then wife said, "Don't close it down. I'll join you." And that was the biggest mistake of my life, saying yes. Because of her, we started to like get the uniforms up, get props, go to more Comic Cons, meet different people. Back in 22 in London Film and Comic Con, we met up with the Southend-on-Sea Ghostbusters again. And then we went to see Billy Bryan and Jim Fye. We was waiting in line. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Are you Danny?" I went, "Yeah, I'm Dan." I said, "You're Chris, aren't you?" He went, "Yeah, I'm Chris." So we shook each other's hands. Chris hugged me, and I met Kieran from Southend-on-Sea Ghostbusters properly. And truthfully, from that point in 22, I think it was the worst mistake I've ever made, was befriending Chris Carter and Kieran Walker and the rest of the Southend-on-Sea Ghostbusters. Then we started to do more cons, more exhibitions. And then basically I outgrew everything. I said, what next can I do? What next can I do? What's there something I haven't done? And I was thinking, I know what I'll do. I'll jump on the bandwagon with a podcast. Podcast about what? What can I have a podcast about? And it dawned on me, He-Man Masters Universe. I went, no, I can't. That's just wrong. Because everyone was waiting for He-Man back in 1989. Anyway, so I decided to do this Ghostbusters podcast to tell my journey, tell my likes, dislikes about the Ghostbuster world. I love Ghostbusters. I'm a Ghostbuster collector, as well, a lot of you are yourselves. So far, I've been to America for 2 Ghostbusters Day. I went for the 40th, the 41st. I'm going this year for 42nd, which I'll be doing a podcast from the Firehouse in Tribeca, the Ghostbusters HQ. A lot of us UK Ghostbusters are shooting over there to celebrate Ghostbusters Day. So I'll be bringing up in a future podcast. I'll be talking about Ghostbusters Day, like when it started from the Buffaloes. As you can see, I've got props, I've got merchandise. I won't call myself one of the high investors in Ghostbuster stuff, but I will shell out a fair bit if I want it. It's be like, not sure you can see there, it's the box for the Ghostbusters Easter egg. That cost me £100. Yes, I know, that cost me £100. And no, you know, like I said, if I like it and I haven't got it, I'll invest it. I used to be an 80s collector. You name me the 80s. I had the entire 80s thing. So I decided to give all that up because I lost my passion for the 80s when Jay passed. And I thought I'd just devote it to one life franchise. I collect wrestling, WWF, WWE, but Ghostbusters is my main thing at the moment. Yeah, so that's enough of me. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah. So that's enough of my personal history. Now, like I said, competition time. This is your chance to win the vintage and rare RCA labelled Ghostbusters jacket, which someone will pass me if they could, so I can show it off to you. At the moment, I think you'll probably know who this person is, all right? And yes, me and her had our ups and downs, but yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everyone.
You all know Mary, right? If you're in the community, then you should know who Mary is. Yeah, so that's the jacket. It's beautiful. It's vintage. It's a size XL or medium. It doesn't fit me, but it engulfs Mary. Yeah, so you'll be able to win that for the competition by you liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel, the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, up to you. I will post on the Facebook page about the competition, how you enter, and you have to comment on the Facebook page that you've entered and you've subscribed. I will give you a number. Then, like I said, we'll do a tombola and we go all through the rigmarole. But yeah, so if we can thank Mary for her time, all right? Yeah, there you go. See, and no, Mary doesn't come with the jacket. So anyway, guys, yeah. So coming up on episode 2, we will be talking about. At the moment, I've just got breaking news on the event organisers, Showmasters. They've just announced that they're cancelling London Film Comic Con 2026. They will be back next August 27. Hopefully with more guest thingy, because if people know us, they'll know that we exhibit at Showmasters LFCC Olympia. We've done it for the past 2 years. So yeah, so we won't be exhibiting there for the time being until they get this all sorted out. So I thought I'd just bring in a bit of breaking news. Coming up in episode 2, I think sorry. Let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Let's mix this up. Let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife in episode 2. How it started, what effect it had on me, what effect it had on you, what you thought about it. Like I said, in future podcasts, I'll be talking about Ghostbusters. I'm going to hate this. I'll be talking about Ghostbusters 2016, the female version of Ghostbusters. I'll tell you some anecdotes as well. What happened in the 40th anniversary of Ghostbusters Day to do with Ghostbusters 2016. But that's come up in future episodes. Not yet. That's coming in future episodes. As long as there's demand for this podcast, then hopefully it will get bigger and better. I'm hoping to have guests on. I'm hoping to have interviews done. So yeah, so why not? Let's wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. If I'm boring you, I apologize. It could get better, but then who knows? Might not get better. Anyway, join me for episode 2 next week. Obviously, every Monday, where you download your podcast from. Obviously, you catch the video on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, so if anyone can send me any questions that they want or tell me how they felt about Ghostbusters Afterlife, then I'll incorporate that into next week's podcast. Thank you very much, and I'll see you down the road. Just remember to like and subscribe. Keep busting.